Hi everyone. Today we're going to be talking about the Nama, the Nama J2 juicer. It's the newest Nama juicer. I've been using it for a couple of months and I really like it. I've owned an Omega juicer, which I also did a video on, and I also did a video on the original Nama juicer, which when I first tried it, it was great, but it started leaking and I had to exchange the basket and everything, and it still was leaking, so I ended up returning that one. And luckily I waited, I pulled out my Omega again, and then this one came out. And what I liked about this one is that it's kind of a hands-free one too, that you can put the celery in here, close it, and then you don't have to stand there and keep feeding. So that saves me a lot of time in the morning. So usually what I do before I juice is I get my celery from Costco, really. It's the organic ones. Celery sticks already cut and washed. And if I have time, I will wash it. But if I don't, I generally will just use it straight from the bag. So this has been a little rinsed already. And so I just take the celery. One of these bags makes about it used to, when I first got this juicer, it used to make 2.5 cups, but nowadays I don't know why it's making about 2 cups and a little bit more. So I usually cut the celery into thirds because I don't want the excess pulp and everything. So the Nama comes with the base. This is the base. And it comes with the auger, the strainer, and the basket. I want to take this out, but this is another thing with Nama. This is having a little bit of problems too, so they're giving me a replacement. But the auger goes in like that. There's a basket, and then there's this thing here as well. So that goes in. There's a basket, the auger. Then you line this up in here, and then this is the filler thing. There's a little spin thing in here that turns the vegetables and puts it down the chute. So that locks, and then this locks into here. You have to twist it into place. It's not going to turn on unless all these pieces match up and are exactly right. Then this fits in here. And then you have your juice basket with a lid, and you have the collection pulp basket, which goes here. So I really like this one because you can basically fill it up and then leave and do other things. So I usually just cut the celery and I just feed it into the chute like that. And I'll start with that, and then I'll do some stuff, or as I'm cutting my other ones and rinsing them, then this is going. So there's on, off, and reverse. So I just start like that. This flap here is also open and closed, but I hear you should leave it open so that the pulp, so it flows, I guess. So as you can tell, I've already been juicing a little bit of it, and I can just walk away and I can just keep filling it like this and do other things, which is great, because before I would just literally have to stand and keep feeding it into it, and I couldn't do much else. So what I usually do is I let it run through once, and then I'll usually redo my pulp. So sometimes as it's going, I will just close it off and then I'll start filling my bottles because I usually do a couple of, like 1 or 2 days at a time. They say it's best if you're going to store it to fill it all the way to the top so not that much air gets in. You can tell there's a little bit of foam, which I don't think is the best, but it's... So then what I will do then, it's pretty dry pulp. I just feed it back in just to get a little bit more juice. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to do that, but this is what I've been doing for years, putting it back in. You can see I'm going to get a lot more of the pulp out. So that's 2, and then I actually open up another one, so 2 in a bunch. And I'm just going to feed this back in. If you can see that, it's still, that's all the pulp that's going through. So you still get quite a bit of juice if you put the pulp back in. It might make your juice a little bit not as clear, but what you also can do is get a strainer and strain it so that it's really pulp free. But there you have it. Sometimes the pulp, it takes a while for it to get down, but as you can see, there's a lot of juice, not a lot, but there's juice that still is coming out, which is quite a bit. If I had just thrown that pulp away or composted it, it would have been, that's quite a bit of juice that I'm still getting. So that's what I do, especially if I'm not going to make anything with the pulp. If I'm going to just compost it or throw it away, I really like to get the most out of it. So I keep doing that, and I'll... So if I'm doing a lot of the pulp, then sometimes I'll just put a strainer like that, and then I'll strain it so that it's not as pulpy. So you can see that would have been in, if I had thrown it all in, that would have been in there, the pulp. So then sometimes I just, see this pulp's so dry now. All right. So I like to do that, and then you can see here, still more juice. I got, quite a bit with just using the pulp. And then the very last thing before I clean it is I'll take it off and I'll make sure all the juice comes out. Okay, so I'm going to turn it off and I'm going to show you how I take it all apart. I'm just going to make sure I got all the juice. There's also a reverse button too, like if stuff gets stuck, you can reverse it and then try to get it not stuck. And then this one is going to be my glass that I'm going to drink today. Okay. So that's the juice collector. And now how I take it apart is, it can be kind of tight. So the base is pretty heavy. It's a heavy motor in there. I'm just going to take my so you undo the top. If you can see, that's like all the pulp and everything. So that's the top part comes out. And then this you can undo this too, so you can actually soak it. This can sometimes be the challenging part. The auger will get stuck, but that's how that is. The auger comes out, and then you can see all the pulp that's there. This is new. The old one, I think it would all get stuck in here, but right now this one, the way I clean it, the only part that the pulp gets stuck is right here in this groove, but I have a little brush that I use to get it all out there. That's the auger, and then this is the basket. Well, this is another piece that doesn't get much, and then this is the basket, and you can see all the stringy pulp of the celery. And then this part, Nama has been really good. Their warranty is great. You know, I got this, I don't know, it was on back order, but it came maybe in November. And so this is very easy to clean as well. See all this pulp that's stuck? There's a little flap here, that opens, and then you just take all the pulp out. It's pretty simple. That's different from their previous model. You have to like put a little piece of something in there to get it all out, which was really a pain. But this all comes out, and you can wash all the pulp out. The only issue is this little flap here. I actually had to replace it twice already since November, because it just cracked twice. And this little piece came off and cracked, but they gave me 2 replacements. So this all gets washed, and there's a little bit of more juice, so I'm going to just take it out like that. So this gets washed. It's pretty simple as well. And the issue that I was having is they're going to send me another replacement. They're sending me a basket and another auger, because this, for some reason, you can tell here, it doesn't go in really easily. It gets kind of stuck. So they're sending me a new one because it's so hard to do sometimes. So that's great. Nama is really great for customer service. So then I just wash all the pieces, and I compost, or I freeze my celery and use it in smoothies. Hope that was helpful. That is the Nama J2, the most recent Nama, and I love it mostly because of this collection basket that you can just put the celery in and just leave it and let it go. So if you have any questions, just comment below, and thank you for watching.